Hello and welcome to Blooming Curious, the podcast that's all about nurturing that natural curiosity and love of learning in our elementary children and students. I'm Edwina, your host, and I'm on a mission to keep children curious and excited about learning. The days of talk and chalk are over. We're exploring the strategies that create engaged, lifelong learners. So if you're a classroom or homeschool educator, or even a curious parent, looking for creative, meaningful ways to engage children and move beyond the traditional classroom approach, then this is the place for you. Welcome to another episode of Blooming Curious. Today, we're diving into a topic that's close to my heart: why every teacher deserves a coach and how having one can transform your teaching. Now, I know that many of you are already thinking about next year's plans, and maybe you're wondering how to shake things up, or you're feeling stuck in the routine of recycling the same old lessons year after year after year. But if that's you, stay tuned, because today's episode is going to help you rethink how you plan and give you steps to create integrated lessons that bring excitement back to your classroom. So let's kick things off with practical steps for planning integrated lessons. Now, what are integrated lessons? These are lessons that connect multiple subject areas, making learning more cohesive and engaging for your students. And it also allows your students to see the relevance of their learning and allows you to tick off multiple outcomes in just one lesson. So how do we do this? Well, we start with a central idea or question. For example, how does water shape our world? This could tie together science, geography, and even art. Usually, I like to start with either my science or my humanities curriculum. Next, we identify our learning goals. You look at your curriculum standards and you pick your goals from the different subjects that align with your topic. For example, if you're looking at how water shapes our world, you might want to teach report writing in English so that students will be able to write a report in science. Perhaps you want to do poetry with a water theme. So have a look at where in your English and maths curriculum you have overlap, and then you teach your science and your humanities there. Next, create hands-on activities. Think about projects or experiments where students can explore the topic in multiple ways. For example, they could build a model of the water cycle, and then you're meeting the science outcomes as well as art outcomes as well as design outcomes. You may also want to incorporate student voice. So ask students what they're curious about within their topic and let their interests shape some of the lessons. And finally, reflect and adapt. After each integrated lesson, reflect on what worked and what didn't. And this will help you refine your approach over time. From my experience, integrated lessons not only engage students, but also make your teaching more dynamic and fun for you. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, this sounds amazing, but where do I even start? You're not alone. Planning integrated lessons takes time, creativity, and often lots of trial and error. It's one thing to have the steps laid out for you, but it's quite another to bring them to life in a way that works for your students and for your teaching style. That's where having a teaching buddy or a coach can make all the difference. Imagine having someone in your corner, someone that you can brainstorm with, someone that can help you map out those big ideas and guide you through the process of turning them into something practical and doable. I know that many of you are lonely. You might not have someone in your corner to bounce ideas off. You might not have a teaching partner that shares your philosophy, or even someone who's big on sharing ideas and planning together. Teaching is a demanding job and can sometimes also be a lonely job. And trying to do everything on your own can sometimes also be really overwhelming. A coach can help you lighten the load and make planning not just manageable, but truly enjoyable. Let's talk about why having this kind of support isn't just helpful, but it's essential. So why should teachers have coaches? Well, why not? Athletes have coaches, businessmen and women have coaches, and some people even have life coaches and nutrition coaches and gym coaches, all just to help people achieve their best. So why shouldn't teachers have coaches? I know the idea of coaching might feel like, oh, another thing, but let's just break it down for a minute. Having a coach can actually give you a fresh perspective. Coach helps you see your lessons through new eyes. They'll point out opportunities that you may have missed and suggest small changes that can make a big impact. Having a coach also holds you accountable. We all have great ideas, but sometimes life gets in the way. And a coach helps you to stay on track and follow through on your plans. A coach also gives you the support that you deserve. Teaching is tough, and you shouldn't have to do it alone. A coach is there to brainstorm with you, to cheer you on, and to help you navigate challenges. And here's the big one. Having a coach actually helps you grow. You can't keep using the same lesson plans year after year after year and expect to stay energized or inspire your students. Growth happens when you step out of your comfort zone and you try new things. Plus, coaching doesn't just benefit your teaching, it benefits you. It can reignite your passion for education and remind you of why you became a teacher in the first place. Now, if all this sounds like something you would love to explore, I have an offer for you. I'm opening up 1-hour coaching sessions, especially designed to help teachers like you. In our session, we'll look at your current lesson plans and we'll identify ways that we can make them more engaging, have more hands-on, and integrated so that you can meet multiple curriculum outcomes and you're not scrambling to find additional lesson ideas and assessments at the last minute because you haven't covered something. We'll talk through any challenges you're facing, and we're going to find solutions together. Even though it's the end of the year, now is also the perfect time to start thinking about next year. Imagine walking into your classroom in January or February with a fresh plan that excites both you and your students. So listen, if you're ready to try something new and take your teaching to the next level and get the support you need and deserve, book a session with me. I'll leave a link in the show notes for you, or you can visit resources bloomingcurious.com/coaching to access coaching at my low introductory offer, which will include a free planning template. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Blooming Curious. I hope you're feeling inspired to explore new ways of planning and to invest in the support you deserve as a teacher. If you love this episode, make sure to subscribe and please leave a review. It really helps more teachers find this podcast. And don't forget to share this episode with a colleague who might need a little extra inspiration. So until next week, same time, same place, remember that curiosity isn't just a trait, it's a superpower. So until next week, stay blooming curious.